Hi, I'm Mitasha Paintal, and currently I'm working in a very interesting field called artificial intelligence. I work with a company called Orbo AI, where we are automating systems for the BFSI and fintech. Super excited! It's a very new arena for me after my stints in sales and marketing. So I'm very excited to share this news with you. Currently, I am here for the second episode of the JD podcast, and we're talking about courage, passion, and self identity in women.
Okay. Would you like to take us through your journey and tell us how you faced the challenges and hardships which women have faced in general?
Sure. So, in life, we all, male, female, everybody is only going to experience a certain set of emotions and experiences, right?
Correct.
Whether it be sadness, it be, anger, it be frustration, it be disappointment. So, I learned that at a very early age because of the different experiences that I had. And I realized that the only way to move forward was to literally call myself a warrior and make sure that anything that I was doing it with all honesty. I was doing it in a way that would only help me move forward every single day. Because the minute you let those disappointments or those hardships become a block in your life, then moving forward gets very hard. And not only for you, but also for everybody in your life that is attached to you so closely, be it your family, be it your close friends. So one of the biggest learnings has been that wake up in the morning, look out for something which is positive. Try to make the best that you can. The best that you can might just be getting out of bed, but that is okay. Small steps, baby steps, but something which will help you, take you through the day, take you through the dreams that you want to achieve. And working actually really helps, because if you have a job, if you have something to look forward to, if you are answerable to someone, many a times what happens is you can't do it organically.
Correct.
So you need that pressure. You need somebody
like a stimulus.
Yeah, you need somebody holding you responsible, that hey, you have to show up to work. Or your parents, that hey, you have to get up, you have to come out of your room, you have to eat your breakfast, you have to shower, you have to bathe, because there is a lot of people who are in depression.
Correct.
Who cannot fight on their own. And luckily for India, we have this immense family support that helps you in waking up and moving. And I know people who don't even brush their teeth in the morning if they're depressed. There's no shame, there is no judgment, and we should wake up in the morning and we should definitely fight whatever it is we're feeling.
So just like take one day at a time.
100%. Take one minute at a time. Because when you're not in a good place, your emotions are all over the place.
Correct.
1 minute you're happy, 1 minute you're crying. So giving yourself that realization, stopping and acknowledging what you're feeling is very important.
So, as a woman specifically, was there something in your life where you faced the challenge and you overcome it?
Well, yeah, I had a bad marriage.
Okay.
And there were various reasons, but I won't say that, a bad marriage does not necessarily mean that two people have to be bad to each other. It can be two very good people who are not getting along. So that was one of the big challenges that I had to face, because I was married for about 12 years. I had to come back to India and I had to start from scratch, which meant that I had to reconnect with all my connections.
Yeah, like reinvent yourself.
Reinvent myself, re-find a job, because I was in aviation industry for a very long time when I was in Vancouver, mostly into sales and marketing. And then moving here, I had to then try to find the niche, because the kind of, monies and the kind of finances you make in North America for the same job are not the same in India.
Correct.
And then to get a job, because it's a hard thing. You start from scratch, you start from zero. So all my experience that I have done in all this while means nothing.
And you go for a job interview and then they ask you, like, why such a long gap in your...
More so, it was not really a long gap situation for me. It was more so what I want to do next.
Correct.
Because I didn't want to get into aviation, I didn't want to get into... So it's just depending on, which field I want to get into, what it is that I really want to do, you, and now that you're back, then the pressures of, even though my family was extremely supportive, but at the same time, there is society that we live in, and then there are these various people. There are Besharam people too who ask you all kinds of questions. There'll be your parents' friends who you think are very, out there, and they understand it and they get it, but they will come and they will ask you the most obnoxious questions, like, oh, I thought you were here or there, but I learned to give them that answer that there is nothing wrong. Today, if you've come back and your marriage didn't work, it's not a big deal.
Correct. You have a life outside that marriage.
You do. And marriage is not the end of life.
Correct.
There is a lot more to do. There is a lot more to achieve. And like I said, you have to focus. You have to have an identity. You have to definitely be who you are. You need to have that passion to want to achieve. Otherwise you're just somebody's wife. And I was never okay with that.
Okay, so moving on, why do you think a woman should focus on self-identity, on having courage, and just in general focus on their passion apart from the family life, which is of course expected from women to take care of? But why do you think it is so important for a woman to focus on these three aspects?
Well, if you don't realize who the me is, there's nothing. Today, if I don't have an opinion, if I don't know what my identity is, I'm not going to be able to achieve anything. I will never be able to stand up for myself, and I will never be able to support others. Right? Yeah. I feel like as a human being, as a person, male, female, anybody, till you don't know where you stand and how grounded you are, you cannot be a support for anybody else. And rightly so, when you're in an aircraft and when there's turbulence, and when the oxygen mask comes in, they always say put the oxygen mask on yourself first. So till you don't stabilize yourself, there is no way in hell you can stabilize somebody else. Right?
I think it's a perfect example.
Yeah, and identity is one thing, but a lot of people that I've recently met who are now in their mid-40s, they always come up with a sentence like, oh hey, like, when I was younger, I used to do this, and I used to love doing this, and now I have kids, and now I'm living through my kids. Why?
Yeah.
Why are you living through your kids? You can still take that dance class. You can still learn to sing. You can still learn to play the piano. Hell, you can still learn to fly a plane. Tom Cruise, for example, like he's learned to do so many things, and it's continuous learning.
So what you're trying to say is like find time for yourself within.
You have to, not just time for yourself, but the reason why you need to be passionate about your identity is because you need to go deep down and be able to do all those things you wanted to. Why should you lose yourself when whatever you were at 10 or 15 or 20 and 25, why have you lost that self now that you're in 45?
Correct. Like the responsibilities on one hand, they don't have to weigh you down. You have to still find time and your passion in life.
In fact, a lot of the women that I know who have grown kids now, kids are very supportive of their parents.
Yeah.
So use their strength to be able to stand up for yourself and do those things you want to do. Like I always ask my friends one question: what is the one thing you want to do for yourself on your birthday?
Exactly.
Trust me, nobody has an answer.
Yeah, my kids want to do this for me.
Or they'll be like, we'll go for a family dinner. No, what do you want to do? Do you want to learn a new skill this year? What do you want to do? Do you want to take a solo vacation? There is no me left then.
Yeah. I think it's a very deep-rooted concept of putting yourself last in the family. I think that is the reason why women today, earlier more so, but even today, like where they have just been taught to keep themselves last.
Yeah.
Their needs last, their wants last, after their kids, their families.
So. No, but the thing is that is the reason why, there was one of the reasons why I wanted to come here, and I wanted to talk, through whatever medium, and let women our age know it is okay to choose yourself first. If you want to leave your kid with your husband and go on a spa day, it is okay.
Yeah, because until you are happy, you're not going to keep your surroundings or people
and why should you be killing your desires? There is no need for that. Your husband and your family is not happy that you're doing that. Today you watch your kid dance on stage, yet you're moving here and you want to be that person too. So what is stopping you?
Yeah.
ऐसा नहीं है there are no resources. Today there is all the exposure where you can do it. There is Instagram, for example. Make a reel. Hell, who's judging you?
Yeah.
You know. So that's the reason why you have to have the passion to find your identity, and to do that you must have that courage.
Correct.
Without the courage, you're not going to be able to achieve this. You need to step out of your comfort zone. Stop being complacent and think, "नहीं यार, मैंने तो किया नहीं है, मुझे नहीं करना है." You know,
Yeah.
my kid will do it.
So coming to the courage part, like you are emphasizing on it, how important do you think is the courage in women when they want to discover or go on the path of self, identity, like trying to find themselves in this world? How important do you think in the society, like in the systems of the society, courage is?
See, courage is only not going to be able to come out because of the fears that we have. As people, we have so many layers of fear.
Yeah.
We feel that, oh, if I do this, what will my husband think of me? If I do this, what will the other mothers think of me? If I do this, what will my mother think of me?
Yeah.
We're always worried about what somebody else will think of us, and hence we're never able to break those barriers and come out and say, I'm courageous enough to do that. Like today, I know I'm courageous enough to walk out of my marriage after so many years.
Yeah.
But I would not have been able to do that if I had no sense of identity.
Correct. Yeah. You would be living in the fear that what will I do outside this marriage?
And it took me like almost 3 years to mentally prepare myself for this moment to be able to leave, because there were so many things that hold you back. There are so many fears. Iska kya hoga, uska kya hoga, aise kaise hoga, waise kaise hoga, how will I manage? But hell, of course I will manage, because I went to another country and I managed it.
Yeah.
Right? Well enough. So I can come back to my very own country and I can still achieve, I can still do it. So all the women out there who want to do this have to first let go of fears. Like I used to literally every morning wake up and write on my mirror, no fear, every day. Like in my phone, my screensaver says no fear, because you need to break that idea, and there is no real fear as such.
Yeah, it's all self-created.
Yeah, and like I said, it's all communicating. If you sit your family down and say, hey, I want to learn this dance and I want to start going from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Are you there to support me? Tell your husband, will you be able to take care of my kid? Or, whatever.
Yeah.
Unless I mean, like, okay, if it's, financially not possible for you, then again, take a part-time job.
Yeah.
So
everything
your
is
mindset
possible.
has to be to make it happen. If you don't have that mindset and you keep on thinking, forget it, yaar, kya karna yaar, chodo yaar. Why should there be a chodo yaar? No, do it, yaar. Do it.
If there is a way, you need to find it and go for it.
There is
basically
always a way.
Yeah, so you need to go for it.
Yeah, I believe there is always a way for things to work out if you intend to make them work.
So if your intention is there, you will be able to do it.
100%.
So now coming to the design part, like the design world, you think the design industry or the design world in general has helped women of today like create their identity in any way? Do you agree with this statement?
I kind of do agree with the statement, because design gives you that freedom of creativity.
Yeah, and expression maybe.
And
if I may
expression,
add,
right? Yeah. So when you start to design, you start to create, you're thinking out of the box, you're doing different things. Hey, why can't I use leaves to make a sari blouse?
Yeah.
So you already start pushing your boundaries, and that in turn can also help in the other realms of your life. It's not just about designing. It's then how you take this mindset, because now you're conditioning your mind to think a certain way without, again, those fears, where you're being this confident person that, yeah, man, I can pull this off.
Yeah.
So why can't I do it here?
Correct. Apply the same knowledge in life.
Yeah. It's not more than knowledge, it's the mindset change. And mindset change is a huge thing that we need to already start building. And I mean, of course, with JD Institute and what y'all are doing and how y'all are grooming the younger generation for years. I myself was a student. It just gives you this power that, yes, I can make that difference. I can make that change. And again, I can apply it anywhere.
Yeah, so in whatever small or big way, you can change the design world. You can apply that to your personal life as well.
And look at how many people's lives you impact.
Yeah.
Today, once the students graduate, they go and they work for a bigger actress or an influencer, or let's say any VVIP or whatever. They are now at a platform where they can also influence somebody else's mind.
Yeah.
They're giving them, without judgment, a true reality that, hey, this will look good on you, or this will look, not good on you. Hence boosting their confidence, which again brings me up to tie it all together, that if you are stable, you're grounded, you have that knowledge, you are going to be able to empower somebody else.
Yeah, not just yourself, but just the people around.
And again, you will learn more things as well, right? So learning is so continuous. You're always learning. You can never stop learning. Unless, again, if you don't have the intent to want to learn.
So if you have the intention, you can learn, grow, and win whatever battle it is.
Look at the Met Gala, for example. Like, it's phenomenal, and people walk in there wearing all those kinds of costumes, and sometimes they're bizarre.
Yeah, they are at times.
But again, the person wearing it is feeling good about themselves. The person who created it is feeling good about themselves. And there is something new that you've now brought, which is, a breath of fresh air always.
Yeah.
To be able to stand there and showcase something that you've done. Again, that comes from a place of no fear. It comes from a place of power that, hey, I thought of this, I executed it, and it's on somebody else.
Yeah, without the fear of judgment from anyone.
Any fear. There should not be any fear in any of us,
I think that's a very big, takeaway for me in this conversation which we've had, that I should also live with no fear.
Of course not.
So, and lastly, any piece of advice apart from this no fear thing you want to give to our students or students around the world, specifically women or just students, design students in general?
Well, students who are already a part of the system and those that will become a part of the system have already opened those doors to wanting to explore. They've already achieved the first step, which is of moving in the right direction on a career path. Whether it works later or not, education never goes a waste.
Correct.
More so now, being a design person, whether it is in fashion or it's any other kind of designing you're doing, it's not just limited to the fact that you will do your job and it is over.
Yeah,
there is a lot of more responsibility that comes along with it. There is a lot of how people then perceive you, so it's also a matter of your perception. So I want to be able to tell all the students that do what you do and own it. Make it yourself, but at the same time, don't have a false perception of yourself. Make it real. Bring yourself to the table.
Yeah, true to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Be true to yourself. Don't get engulfed in what is happening around and try to fake it, because fake it cannot always make it. Like, you want to be so real and genuine, and that will translate into your work. And again, once you're out there in the world, empower those other younger generation or your colleagues and help and assist, because everybody will grow together. Don't get into the whole the jealousies and the insecurities and all of that. Stand your ground, and again, when you will be grounded, you will be able to actually support others.